Mason Greenwood's return to Manchester United is looking more and more difficult as there is protests planned before the Wolves game against his return to Manchester United. Let's get right into it. So, a report coming out from The Athletic today from Daniel Taylor. It's surrounding Mason Greenwood in relation to his return to Manchester United. And I suppose it's focusing on protests around Mason Greenwood. It says a group of Manchester United fans are planning a protest to let the club know they don't want Mason Greenwood back. Their banner will be on display before Monday's game against Wolves. Now, look, we've discussed Mason Greenwood, a number of occasions throughout the summer, and we do know potentially that a decision is imminent, by Manchester United. I think a date was announced as the 14th. So look, again, everybody has their own opinions on this, and I want to state that, some people want him back, some people don't want him back, some people would like him back, but would be uneasy with it. And everybody is entitled to their opinion. Of course they are. This planned protest, they have released a statement. Now, the statement is quite large, I will have to say. So I'll read the first paragraph to it. And it says, "Today, we female fans of Manchester United are demanding that the club to abide by their duty of care towards their female fans and employees and demonstrate a zero-tolerance approach towards acts of violence against women by refusing to bring Mason Greenwood back into the squad. The situation is clear. Taking Greenwood back legitimises and normalises sexual assault and domestic abuse. It tells other players and the men and boys that look up to them that abusing women is unacceptable without consequence and won't affect you or derail your career." Now, look, it is a very big statement, so you can go and check it out if you want. It's on Twitter or wherever you might be able to get it. And look, the one thing I would say is I completely understand, where these people are coming from. Absolutely I do. And again, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Other parts of the article coming out from The Athletic suggest that in a scenario that Greenwood stays, United are understood to have discussed a phased process that would include encouraging him to receive counselling as well as a television interview in which he is challenged on the events that have brought him to this point. Now, this is not a political channel. This is a football channel, a Manchester United football channel. So if I'm talking solely about football here, I think this is just too much of a distraction for Manchester United. I don't think Mason Greenwood should come back and play for Manchester United for a number of different reasons. I've made my opinions on it clear in a number of different videos before, so we won't get into that again. I'm going to go back and talk about, the distractions that we had last season in relation to Cristiano Ronaldo wanting to leave Manchester United. Now, I know the circumstances were different. Of course they were. But I suppose the outcome around the football team and the distractions that it provides in terms of the media, in terms of the fan base, for the players, for the manager, is very similar. I said last year that I thought Cristiano Ronaldo should leave because if he stayed, it would be Ronaldo as story number one and football as story number two. And it's going to be exactly the same if Mason Greenwood comes back and plays for Manchester United. He'll be story number one and football will be story number two. And that's just not, that should not be the case for Manchester United. Never. Football should always be number one. And, these protests that are going to go on Monday night before the game, people are well within their rights to do it. Absolutely they are. And they should be free to do it without criticism, whether you agree with them or not, and some people want Mason Greenwood back. Some people don't want him to come back, and that's completely understandable. Me, myself, if I'm looking at it, you can look at it from different angles. Of course you can. You can look at it from the political side. You can look at it from the criminal side. You can look at it from a footballing side. We're a footballing channel. We look at it from a footballing side. I think it's too big of a distraction. There's no denying the talent that Mason Greenwood had, because we don't know what kind of a player he is now. Obviously, he's been out of the game for 2 years. So I think, look, I think bringing him back would be a big mistake. I really do. I really do. I think, you know, Manchester United and the great work that Erik ten Hag has done over the last 12 months to bring a bit of positivity back to the club, to improve the style of play, to improve the atmosphere within the club, to improve the playing staff, to improving the coaching staff, to improving standards. Everything has improved at Manchester United over the last 12 months. The only thing that hasn't is we haven't got new owners, but everything else is going in the right direction. I think this would dampen the mood at Old Trafford, and it would be a complete distraction, I have to say. So for that reason, and that reason being the main reason, there are other reasons why I don't think he should come back, but that being my main concern is football on the pitch. I don't think Mason Greenwood should come back. And I mean, even listening to this article out of The Athletic, you know, saying that, you know, he would have to receive counselling, he would have to do a television interview, you know, so he can be challenged on the events that led him to this part of his life. Could you imagine? It would just be a complete and utter circus at Manchester United if that was to be the case. I just think, look, let's just focus on football. You know, let's cut our ties. You know, if we have to sell him, let's sell him. If he goes on loan for a year, you know, that may be an option if he goes on loan. I still think if he did go on loan for a year and come back, these protests would remain. You would have people that still don't want him to come back. You're not going to forget. People have all heard, you know, the recordings and so on and so forth. So I think sending him out on loan for 12 months is only pushing or kicking the can down the road. These truths are still going to, you know, hit home eventually. So I think maybe it's time just to cut our losses with it. It's a huge it would be a huge loss for Manchester United because we're losing a generational talent, you know. But sometimes, you know, sometimes standards have to prevail over, you know, maybe putting money first if Mason Greenwood is to stay. That's my thoughts on it, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, please do hit subscribe, hit the like button. We'll be back tonight from 7:30 to talk all of these issues in depth, along with a lot more. And big news coming out about Anthony Martial at the moment as well. So we'll get into that tonight at 7:30. Join us then live. And yeah, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you then. Take it easy.